what are you doing? You know what I mean? So it's an interesting thing to, oh, I have a question. One of the things I've been looking at, one of the things I've been looking for, one of the things that I've been hoping for and hoping to create for a very long time is where if you have been through something, like let's say you found out how to totally change your financial situation and now it's ease for you. Or let's say you found out how to totally change a bad relationship situation into a great one. Or let's say you found out how to totally change your unhappiness and now you're happy. See, what I've realized for a long time is that somebody who goes through something like that can become an energy that allows you to step into it infinitely faster than you would have if you had to do it all on your own. So I'm going to ask the people that are in 2 and 3, if you do me a favor and just lower every barrier you have in your world. Thanks. And I'm also going to ask those of you who've never been to a 2 and 3, Foundation Level 1 or anything else, or some version thereof, to lower your barriers too and receive from these these wonderful people whatever it is that might make your life easier just from having had the willingness to come and invest your time and invest your money in being here tonight. We've got greater capacities for change than anyone on this planet is acknowledging. We've got a far greater ease of changing things than anyone on this planet is acknowledging, almost. There's some people that know it's possible, but they're doing something so esoteric, you can't quite reach it, you can't quite grasp it. We have far greater capacities for change. We have far greater ease of change if we'll allow ourselves. How many of you know you'd like more happiness, more joy, and yet you feel kind of like, I'd like it, but I feel kind of trapped in everything that was, and I'm not quite sure how to get there, and so I don't quite know what to do, and one of the things I've seen over the past few weeks and months of working with Peter is that ease of sense of humor actually coming out. He's got a very, very quick brain. There's nothing he misses, okay? He's got a sense of humor that goes with that is just absolutely phenomenal. And the joy that is underneath that is starting to emerge with an ease that is a really beautiful thing. How many of you would like a little more of that too? Everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, choice, boys, and girls. So let me ask you a question. Flip on your back. What part of this reality are you using to limit you? Because interestingly enough, the dog's like, I'm good. So what part of this?
Maybe that dog wants so much jazz too.
So maybe the dog wants to get out here. So what part of this reality are you using to limit you? I have a question. If 98% of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions don't belong to you, like literally, if you can imagine, if 98% of the crap that was in your head today was not there tomorrow,
Not me.
how much easier would your life be, right? So, there's this tool. Who does this belong to? If you ask it to every thought, feeling, and emotion you have, every judgment, every heaviness, every trauma and drama that you have for 3 days, at the end of 3 days, you walk around like you're in a walking, talking meditation. So what happens is, how many of you have had a day where you're just on cloud 9? The day's awesome, it's amazing, it's phenomenal. You're on your way to work, either on your bicycle, in your car, walking, on the subway, in a taxi, whatever it is, and all of a sudden you feel hit with, I don't know how I'm going to make this work. I'm so sad. I got so much trauma and drama. Yes? Have you ever had that? Yeah. You know what? If you had asked in that moment, who does this belong to? You know what would have happened? It would have lightened up and gone away. You know why? Because if you're having a really great day and then all of a sudden you feel buried by crap, it's not your crap. Do you want to know that, though? Do you want to know that it can be that easy to change it? Ask one friggin' question. Who the heck does this belong to? And if it lightens up at all, it's not yours. Return it to sender. Okay? One part of the thing that I love about Access is its tools to change stuff. You don't have to follow anybody. Keep whatever you're doing already. Just add this to it. Okay? Just add these tools to it. Like when I was a chiropractor, I started adding the tools, and I started noticing that my treatments got infinitely more effective. It was interesting. I was like, okay. And I had one guy come in. I'd been working on him for 3 months for his back pain, and his back pain was always an 8 out of 10. Okay? 10 is childbirth. Okay? So he was having 80% of a child most of the time. I was like, ooh, that's scary. Okay. And I'd work on him. I'd get him down to like a 3 or 4 out of 10. He'd leave and come back and he'd be an 8 out of 10. And one day, before I'd done Access, one day he came in and I said, look, you know what? I would really, really, really highly suggest you go see somebody else because I'm really not satisfied with the results we're getting. Please go see somebody that can actually get you out of pain. And he said, Doc, you don't get it. I have seen everybody else. You're the only one who even gets me down to a 3 or 4. And I was like, oh, dude, fine. I was like, shit. I seriously wanted him to go see somebody else. And I'd done an Access Consciousness class. I'd had this thing with the who does this belong to. And so the guy comes into my office one day, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do for him? Okay, he comes in, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, it hurts again. I'm like, yeah, it kind of does every time you come see me. Okay, fine. And he goes to lay down, and it takes him almost 5 minutes to relax his body enough to where he can lie face down, like I had Peter lying first, right? And I was like, okay, well, what can I use on him? What can I use? This is one of the things you want to ask. What can I use? What can I use to change this? Here's what you want to ask is, when you want to change something, what can I use to change this? And so that's what I asked. What can I use to change this? And all of a sudden I got, who does this belong to? In my head. Who does this belong to? And so I looked at him and I went, hey, I got a question. You know that back pain? Who does that belong to? And he pushes himself up and looks at me and goes, my wife! And I was seriously standing there going, because it just took the guy 5 minutes enough to relax, to lie down, and he pushes himself up and turns around and answers me. 80% of his pain was gone with that one question. And I was like, seriously, I was standing there for minutes with my mouth open going, what the fuck just happened? Like, really? Okay. And within, using some more Access tools, we got him out of 98% of his pain that day. What? But you know what had happened for the guy? His wife was in such terrible pain. She had had back surgery and the pain didn't get better, it got worse. And even the drugs were not helping enough to get her out of pain enough unless she was practically comatose. And I said, what happened? He said, you know what? I looked at her one day and I thought to myself, I will do anything I can to take this pain away from this woman. I love her so much and I don't want to see her in pain. He's like, over the next few weeks, she got out of pain. A couple of weeks later, I started having pain, and it progressed to this. And I was like, oh, okay, where does that fit in this reality? You know what I mean?